Log entry, the ketch Scarlet Queen. Position, 123 degrees, 8 minutes west, 37 degrees, 31 minutes north. Gyro compass course, 237. Wind, fresh. Sky, fair. Remarks, cleared port of San Francisco at 2:30 p.m. Sailing delayed 19 hours due to death of first officer. Cause of death, the Shanghai secret. I stood there on the pier that evening, the ache in my frame reminding me that the last long, hard day of loading stores was behind me, and watched a China-bound freighter feeling her way out into the fog-shrouded harbor. The Scarlet Queen nudged her fenders against the dock right below me, her bright work shining like costume jewelry even in the failing light. She was beautiful in her new white paint, and she was mine, all 78 feet of her. She rose and fell, just a little, delicately, lifting the carved wood figure under her bowsprit out of the shadows now and then. A fresh, young body, looking forward, bold, teasing, dressed in only a crown and painted brilliant red. The Scarlet Queen, the woman my own particular world revolved around. But that gray San Francisco evening wasn't cut out for romance between man and lacquered wood. I didn't hear him as he walked up behind me, but it didn't take me long to pick up the odor of a jail cell after he opened his mouth.
You Philip Carney?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm Kessel, San Francisco homicide. You know a man named David R. Malone?
Yeah, he's my chief mate. What'd he do?
He died. Come on, you got a date at headquarters.
Wait a minute. It's a little sudden on a full stomach. What happened to him?
The books are going to call it murder by a person or persons unknown. Homicide wants to know you better.
And so Mutual begins The Voyage of the Scarlet Queen, written by Gil Dowd and Bob Tallman, and starring Elliott Lewis. The Scarlet Queen, proudest ship to plow the seas, bound for uncharted adventure. Every week a complete entry into the log, and every week a league further in the strange voyage of the Scarlet Queen.
Your last name first and middle initial.
Carney Philip M.
Age?
29.
Height?
6'2.5".
Weight?
207.
Eyes blue, hair brown. Scars or other identifying marks?
Yeah, tattoo, a 3-strand Turk's head on my right bicep.
A what?
A 3-strand Turk's head at the knot, you know. Or does somebody else tie your shoelaces? Kessel, I'm getting awful sick of this.
Shut up and answer the question.
Address?
The catch Scarlet Queen.
Street number?
Street number? How? Pier 48, berth 2, Embarcadero, not permanent.
That'll be enough for now, O'Brien. That might be a pretty permanent address at that, Carney.
Not with me paying the rent. I got my port clearance and I'm leaving tomorrow.
Maybe you are, Carney. How long had you known Malone?
Since, about 5 days.
Not about, Carney. How long?
5 days. I signed him on 5 days ago.
Uh-huh. When'd you see him last? Exactly.
Between 12:30 and 1 this afternoon, I saw his stern end going around the warehouse at Pier 48. He turned to the right, exactly.
He went to room 218, the Crown Hotel on Columbus Avenue, the North Beach section. Why?
Because he's human, I suppose. They build hotels for people to go into.
He didn't look human when we found him.
Look, Kessel, I don't know anything about it. I'm sorry Malone's dead. He was a nice guy. But that's all I can give you. If you want an alibi, I've got 4 seamen who loaded stores with me all day. That'll carry me to the time you tap me on the shoulder. What do you want, a halo?
That's all right, it's all right. Just don't get sore, Connie. Here, you want a cigarette?
No, thanks. All I want is a cab back to the Embarcadero. On you.
Sure. We'll take care of it. Just a couple more questions.
Oh, stop. That Patience Act fits you about like a bare midriff evening gown. Take it off, get comfortable.
Thanks, Connie, I will. What could Malone have learned on your Scarlet Queen that somebody'd go to a lot of trouble to get out of him?
What are you talking about, Kessel?
Malone was tortured. That's what I'm talking about. For a good long time. And then somebody slipped or lost their temper.
He didn't know anything.
He didn't know why $50,000 was deposited in your name last year?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, Barrett, bring Funston in.
The name Funston rang just a faint bell for me, but I recognized the little guy they brought in all right. If there was anybody who knew about my banking business, he did. He worked there, in the assistant cashier's office. Down there, he was just another face looking at you through rimless glasses. Here, he looked like trouble.
Mr. Funston, is this the man you say received that $50,000 letter of credit?
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Carney, but the police, you know. Yes, sir, he's the man.
Remind me to bank someplace else next time.
That's all, Mr. Funston. Thank you.
I hope you understand, Mr. Carney. I had to answer the...
Cast off, Funston. I'll thank you later. You guys have got long noses, haven't you?
Yeah, when things smell as rotten as this. It was deposited in the San Francisco bank while you were in China with the Marines.
Where are you getting this, Kessel?
It was sent over as a letter of credit from a firm in Shanghai called Kang & Son. Most of it went to a local shipyard where your Scarlet Queen was built and to a flock of coast companies for your cargo. 50,000 mystery dollars, Connie. And a voyage to nowhere.
I won it in a crap game, and my articles say Honolulu.
Honolulu. With enough stores aboard for a 2-year cruise, who do you think you're kidding, Connie? Why don't you talk?
Why don't you get tired? You're pumping a lot of bilge flush. You're bluffing your heart out, and you know it.
All right, Connie, you can go.
But it's about time.
But you will be at Pier 48 when we want you.
What do you mean by that?
The Coast Guard's a cooperative outfit. Your port clearance has been revoked until this is cleaned up. I'll call you when I want you again.
I would have traded places with any engine room hand on any Great Lakes ore ship after I left Kessel. And I hate fresh water almost as much as I hate engine rooms. Kang had warned me when I signed with him in Shanghai. The opposition, he called them. An octopus with a body in an office building in Hong Kong, a brain called Constantino, and the tentacles groping across the world for the prize Kang was sending me after. A $10 million prize somewhere in the South Pacific. Its exact location was Kang's secret. And Constantino was ready to bribe, steal, or murder to get that secret. I didn't know who his San Francisco tentacle was, but I did know that it had killed Malone. I knew that he'd been tortured for something even I didn't know. The true destination of the Scarlet Queen. It was 7:30 by the time I got back to the Queen. I checked her mooring lines, went into my cabin, poured myself 2 quick, stiff drinks, and started to clean a .45 automatic I'd gotten out of the habit of wearing. If Constantino's machine had gone into operation, I figured it might be a healthy habit to get back into. I had it stripped and spread out on my desk. And that's when I met Gallagher. Big Red Gallagher.
Hello, Skipper.
Who the devil are you and how'd you get aboard?
I wanted to talk to you. I'm Red Gallagher.
Where's my gangway watch? He's got orders, nobody aboard.
He tried, Skipper. Don't blame him. But you know how it is. I wanted to talk to you.
He didn't have to explain. He held up a hand about the size of a fielder's glove and rubbed the knuckles as if they were bruised. He didn't have to say any more. He was about my size, wearing a shapeless, stained white duck officer's cap, faded dungarees, and a jumper with the sleeves rolled up. His face was heavy-featured, but not flat. His eyes gray and set off by crow's feet wrinkles and squinting into the sun. And they were laughing at me.
But no harm done, Skipper. He isn't hurt bad.
Maybe he wasn't big enough to put you over the side.
Now, wait a minute, Skipper. Take it easy. We'll just bust up a lot of furniture and lose a lot of skin that way. Don't be so jumpy.
All right, unload in a hurry and get out of here then. What do you want?
I hear you're looking for a new chief mate, and I want to sign on.
Where did you hear I was looking for a new chief mate?
I got a friend at the mall. He keeps me a beam of these things.
Uh-huh. Is the rest of the story for sale?
What story, Skipper? Is there something I should know?
I don't like your trim, Gallagher. Maybe it's because you think you can get a berth after knocking my crewmen around. Maybe it's because I think you're lying in your teeth. Either way, I wouldn't get into a dory with you.
Wait a minute, Skipper. I was made for this trip. I know that South Pacific.
How do you know where I'm going?
Maybe that Scarlet Beauty under your bowsprit whispered to me.
You're too nosy for me, Gallagher. Get your sea boots off this ship. I'm manned and loaded and ready to shove as soon as I get clearance.
When do you think that'll be, Skipper?
What do you mean by that?
There you go, getting jumpy again. That was a civil question. I just wanted to know how long, that's all.
It'll be as quick as I can make it.
Yeah. I guess I can't blame you for that, but maybe it'll be long enough for me to try again. You need me on this ship, Skipper.
I've lived a long time without you. Keep your eye on the newspaper shipping columns, Gallagher. That's as close as you'll come to my sailing. After he left, I reassembled the 45, checked my naval code on the disposition and effects of deceased seamen, and started to get Malone's gear together. In the pocket of one of his coats, I found a match folder from the Gorgonio, a bar advertising pre-war liquor and continuous entertainment. On the inside, somebody had written a name, Helen, and a number that straightened me up like a right to the chin. It was 218, the number of the murder room at the Crown Hotel. "20 minutes later, I was at the Gorgonio. It was a typical non-tourist North Beach bar. Good, healthy fishermen up from Fisherman's Wharf. 3 women at the bar, and 1 sitting at the electric organ up on a platform. None of them had Helen printed on their backs, but the only one whose name anyone would bother writing down was the girl making with the music. Honey-colored hair with a gardenia over the left ear, white shoulders pushing out of the whiter gown, a face full of confidence in the rest of it. And no wonder. After I finished my drink, I walked back toward her. Say, excuse me, but would your name be Helen?
Oh, that's a novel approach, isn't it?
Should I go back and try it over with Irene or Penelope?
What's the difference? It'd end the same way. Can I play something for you?
This one suits me. If I can talk to you through it.
Can't for the life of me see what we'd have to talk about.
Maybe some other time we can get around to that. But I ran into an old mate of mine yesterday. He mentioned this place, and you know I'd like to locate him. His name is Dave Malone. Do you know him?
Malone? Sure he said he knew me?
Yeah, I thought so, but maybe he was just hoping, huh?
Yeah. Afraid that must have been it, because I don't know any Dave Malone.
Yeah, well, it was one of those things. He mentioned your name, so I thought I'd give it a try, but I'll coast around. Maybe I'll come back on my own sometime.
I hope you do. I'll be here.
Wear that dress, will you? I had another drink at the bar and kept my eyes off her just enough to catch her looking at me with more than a professional look once or twice. She did go off guard right after I threw Malone's name at her. I was sure of it. I finished my drink and went out the door like I had someplace to go. But I stopped right after I got out of range of the windows, counted 5, and eased back so I could just look in. She was leaving the platform. And I, along with the good, healthy fisherman, watched her sway that white gown back to the phone booths. It wasn't taking her long to contact somebody about me contacting her. It was just chance so far, but they were Malone, Helen, and 218, the number of the murder room at the Crown Hotel. It could have been coincidence, but there isn't much room on the back of a match folder. The Crown Hotel was a narrow brownstone front building squeezed between 2 more narrow brownstone front buildings. I looked in at the musty lobby. It was empty. I tried the door once to see if it was going to ring a bell someplace. When nobody showed up, I went in. There was a dingy brown hunting scene hung on one wall, and a dingy brown smell of bad ventilation hanging over everything. There was an immodest calendar from a Reno gambling club wasting its time behind the desk, and a register book that had seen more lies than Munchausen. And I flipped the pages back to the day before, found room 218. It was registered to one John Smith. Then, just on impulse, I flipped back to the current date and found myself on top of the whole mess. Sprawled in an awkward hand against room 218 was the single name, Gallagher. Room 218 and the name Gallagher. All I needed to keep me going up those stairs. All I had to remember to enjoy bringing that 45 out of my shoulder holster was the picture of that wide grin and those gray eyes. I'd have gone through that door even if it hadn't have been unlocked.
Well, Skipper, come on in.
I'm in, brother.
What's all the hardware for, Skipper? Why are you always aching for a beef when you and I run into one another?
Let's stow that warm friendship, shall we? Let's you do a little talking that you mean for a while.
I never say anything I don't mean, Skipper. You'll learn that when you know me better.
That's what I'm here for, Gallagher, so start saying something you mean.
Sure. Why do you think I took this room if I wasn't sure you'd be bulling around this neighborhood tonight?
What interests me most is that you did.
I knew you'd like it, Skipper. I know you got to have Malone's murderer before you can clear San Francisco, and I can give him to you. They call him Mr. Fox. He's working for Constantino. If you didn't know that before, you know it now.
Who's Constantino?
You're being cagey, Skipper, and that's all right. You don't know what to say because you don't know how much I know. I don't know how much you know, so we're even, right?
You're talking.
The Fox didn't learn what he wanted to learn from Malone. He tried too hard. So he paid me $2,000 to sign on with you. I was supposed to find out what part of the Southern Oceans you were making for, and the payoff was going to be $1,000 a month. For just keeping the finger on you and waiting to be contacted. It was an easy deal.
Somebody in your family must have been born with shark fins not too far back.
There was supposed to be a great uncle under the Jolly Roger, Skipper, but no fins yet. But I got reasons. I'm telling you this because if they'd pay off like that for just a line on you, I figure the real dough is going to be made on your side. You got a hold of something big. I still want to ship with you, but for you.
Well, I'm a dirty... I'm telling you, Gallagher, for the price of the Queen, I can't tell you who's crazy in this room.
Nobody is, Skipper. You're going to be ahead, too. Believe me, you are. I can help you clear up the mess here in Frisco. I'll put you next to the Fox and his mermaid.
Oh? Her name Helen?
How'd you get that?
She isn't hard to find.
Well, that's right, Helen Curran. She led Malone to this room with a smile and a promise.
Yeah. Either one would look good from her. I know I was there.
She seen you? Did you tell her who you were?
Are you nuts?
Then it'll work. Listen, but tonight you're the chief mate of the Scarlet Queen. You beat me out of the berth. If you'll go for that story, I'll get you Malone's killers.
Or put me on a morgue slab for another $2,000. I trust you like I trust a compass at the North Pole.
It'll take you a month to get him without me, Skipper.
With you under homicide's 3rd degree?
Yeah, even then. Now, here's my deal, and we both make headway. I get the mate's berth, and you get your port clearance. But we got to have a bait. That's you. And we got to have somebody who can put it in the right place. That's me. You got the 45. Take a gamble, Skipper. I'll show you how it works.
It was about 11:15 when I pulled my left ear for luck the last time, followed them down to the lobby, took my last look at that Reno calendar. Gallagher looked like he was enjoying putting me on the block, and the only reason I could dream up for playing sucker was the idea that as long as I kept the line on him, I was at least secure to something. He squeezed me into the phone booth with him when he put the bait on the hook. He held the receiver so I could get my ear into it, too, and called Helen Curran at the Gorgonio.
Hello, baby. This is Red.
Oh, it's about time. I thought you were coming in.
And something came up. Did you get the gardenia?
Sure. Sure, I'm wearing it right now. When can I show you how much I like it?
Don't talk like that when I'm so far away. Listen, things got foul tonight, but I think they'll work out anyway.
What happened, Red?
I missed that mate's berth by about 15 minutes. A guy by the name of Pritchard beat me to it.
Oh, Red, the Fox isn't going to like this.
I think he will. Did a guy come in there tonight looking for Dave Malone?
Yeah. Why, Red?
That was Pritchard. And he's got the information we want.
That sounds funny, Red. How'd you get all this?
He stuck his head in a bar where I was, and I recognized him. He knows where they're headed. I could have maybe pumped him for it, but I thought it'd be better if you and the Fox were in on it, too.
Yeah. Where is he?
On his way back to the Gorgonio to see you. He's big. So I better tag along for the party, don't you think? Maybe in your apartment later, if you can get him there. And I think you can.
All right, Red. Give me a half hour to get through to the Fox and call me back. I'll let you know where he'll pick you up, okay?
Yeah, but, baby, take it easy till I get there. I don't want that gardenia crushed on anybody's shoulder but mine.
Helen Curran knew her business. She didn't go overboard selling herself, but like nature taking its course, she in the white gown and I got into a cab after closing time. Her apartment was in the Buell Arms on Russian Hill. It was a little overdone in modernizing a setup that was dull mid-Victorian a few years back. Light walls with Venetian blinds, some flamingos and parakeets flying through verdant jungles, and framed before they started. And a bedroom to the right that she went into saying something about something comfy. When she came back, I saw clearly that she went for off-the-shoulder hostess gowns, too.
There now. I feel more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
What's the matter with me, anyway?
Is there something?
I always seem to stir the wrong approach in you. Or are you just shy?
With you don't need an approach. You just move naturally.
You aren't shy at all, are you? You're just overconfident. You've been spoiled by women.
Never hurt me. But then it's not very often as appealing as your brand.
Do you think I'll spoil you?
But I wonder if you'd hurt me.
Not even if I could, and I'd... Hey, wait a minute. Oh, I couldn't hurt you if I wanted to, could I?
I don't know, but from where I sit, who cares? Like I said, she knew her business. And I had to keep remembering that it wasn't all crushed gardenias tonight. We finally did get around to a drink out of a rattan-covered bottle, and I could tell by the heavy-lidded look she gave me over her glass that I was supposed to be a complete victim and as meek as a kitten with a full belly. She knew her business. But knowing that she knew her business, I went along with the kitten act. But I was as ready as a tiger when Gallagher opened the door. But I wasn't ready for the man he brought with him. It was Funston. L.B. Funston, still looking through the rimless glasses, but now his eyes were steely hard, and it only took one deep breath to realize that he was the fox. He had a small caliber gun out of an inside pocket faster than I could get my breath.
Wait a minute, Gallagher. This man's name is not Pritchard.
Fox, what do you mean?
I know it. Something went wrong. This guy's Philip Carney, the master of the Scarlet Queen.
I was sitting on the couch, and after a sellout like that, there was no use standing up. Helen left me like I'd broken out with the purple pox, and Gallagher still stood behind Funston looking at me with that grin.
Red, he's the one who was in to see me earlier.
Never mind, Helen.
He isn't the guy I talked to.
Never mind, I said. You're an impulsive man, Carney.
I'm a little surprised at you, too, Funston.
What are you doing here?
I like a game of bridge as well as the next guy.
You play a stupid game. You should remember that your Red Queen is not the top of the suit.
She'll do.
She'll never win a trick. You'll never use her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But you're bluffing, Funston.
Oh?
Either that or you're double-crossing Constantino and talking for yourself. Fighting to stay clear of Malone's murder.
I want more than talk.
You're still bluffing. You don't want to hurt me, because with me out of the way, Constantino's octopus would have nothing to follow. Wise up. You don't scare me. I'm too valuable.
All right. I'll pay you $25,000 for the destination of your Scarlet Queen.
I can't hear you.
There are other methods, Carney.
Now you're bluffing again. You'd never get it that way either. And what did Constantino say if you laid me next to Malone?
That's something I'll have to find out. At the moment, that looks better than arrest for murder. Stand up, Carney.
You're really on a spot, Funston. You're even getting the double cross from your own people in this room.
Now, who's bluffing, Carney?
I mean, you're getting it from Gallagher. He knew who I was tonight.
Gallagher!
Skipper, why do you have to rush me? I'm all right, Skipper. I'll take him. Watch the money.
I raced her across the room to a table. She had a drawer open and a nickel-plated revolver, half out of it by the time I grabbed her.
Drop it, sister. Drop it.
Let go of me. Let go.
I said drop it.
Calm down, sister. Get over there and calm down. I grabbed her by the arm and tossed her across the room and had that 45 out before she landed. I twisted to look at Funston. Gallagher had hit him hard enough to keep him from opening until Christmas. He was tangled up with a throw rug and not thinking about a thing.
Oh, well, Skipper, there's your port clearance and my chief mate's berth spread all over the room.
Yeah. Now what the devil was the idea of you leaving me to shake hands with that gun of Funston's for so long?
I had to do it, Skipper, to keep him off guard. He knew our story was fishy before I got him up here.
He knew?
Yeah. He knew you hadn't signed on to chief mate.
He had good spies. Where'd he find that out?
He got it by being the honest banker.
Huh?
Eager to play along with the police. He kept in touch with your friend at Homicide, Kessel.
Yeah. I knew that Kessel was a good man.
But we're a great team, Skipper. We're standing up and they're laying down.
But Constantino isn't with them. We'll hear from him again. Keep an eye on him, will you? I got a proud call to make to homicide. By 2 the next afternoon, we cast off from Pier 48 and were headed out. We went through the Golden Gate under power, sitting on the wheelbox with a bottle between us. We followed the channel buoys out to the Farallones, picking up that good deep water roll. And the driving westerlies started to sing through the rigging. I felt like a man getting his back out of a cast and walking again. The crew perked up, too, and they fell to with a will when Gallagher started bawling orders. The men liked him, too. Even the one he'd slugged had a pull from the bottle and shook hands with him. They took their stations at the mainsail. The men at the halyards hoisted away smartly, and the head of the mainsail climbed up the mast. And the white expanse of it bellied out and pulled the deck beneath me, hove over to port. And I could feel the power at the wheel. The gypsum boomed out, then the mizzen. The Scarlet Queen was glad to be free, too. She took the bone in her teeth and charged every swell as though she were carrying on a one-woman war with the whole Pacific.
Is the rig heavy enough for you, Skipper? We're showing 8 knots on the taffrail lock.
Good enough. We'll hold her full and by till nightfall and then let her off some.
You got a fine lady here, Skipper.
Behaving like a queen. She'll get us to Kaiwi Channel in less than 14 days.
That means the Royal Hawaiian Bar in less than 14 nights. What's the run from there?
That'll depend on the wind and other circumstances. Japan, the coast of China, then south across the line to the shallow sea.
How long are we going to be down there?
We may never get there, so who cares how long it'll be?
Not me. I'm not married.
You are now, mate. With the Scarlet Queen, the bigamist.
Oh, better let me take the wheel, then. We got to have a honeymoon sometime.
Sure, take over. Course is 237 on the gyro compass. Got her?
Yeah. Say, she's got spirit. What a wife she's going to make. What a honeymoon. Want a drink, Skipper?
After you, mate. Your wedding day. And you make a handsome couple. Believe me, you do. Log entry. Catch Scarlet Queen. 5:30 p.m. Miles traveled 31. Wind brisk. Sky fair. Sea cresting with high cross swell. Mainsail and mizzen reefed. Ship secure for night. Signed, Philip Carney, Master.
The Voyage of the Scarlet Queen has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Log entry, the Ketch Scarlet Queen. Position 158 degrees west, 22 degrees 21 minutes north. Gyro compass course 290. Wind fresh, sky fair. Remarks, cleared port of Honolulu at 3:30 a.m. without lights to avoid harbor and police officials. Reason for secrecy, the report from the White Jade Buddha. On the 13th day out of San Francisco, with the constant trade still flowing in over the starboard quarter, the Scarlet Queen stood in through Kaiwi Channel, past Cocoa and Diamond Head, and eased into Honolulu Harbor. I'd planned on finding dockage off 4th Street near the shopping district where I could take on water and food stores in a hurry, pick up my payroll and instructions from Kang's Honolulu contact, and head out. But the section was jammed with merchant men, so we nosed past Sand Island under power and into Kapalama Basin, where we tied up under the stern of an aging but busy Victory ship. We'd noticed the big diesel yacht that had entered the basin in our wake, but we didn't pay any attention to it until it anchored just off our port beam and a dinghy left her, pulled up alongside. My chief mate, Red Gallagher, caught the hail.
Ahoy, the Scarlet Queen.
Ahoy, the boat. What's your business?
Rosalind Bradbury, master of the Rockahonga. Do I have your permission aboard?
Not mine. How about yours, skipper?
You stay where you are.
Huh? What's that? Oh, it's still in quarantine?
I didn't say so, but it'll do.
Well, then, if Muhammad cannot come to the mountain, sir, let the mountain come to Muhammad.
Talk English or cast off. What do you want?
The pleasure of your company at tea aboard the Rockahonga. Yourself and your first officer, sir. No need for a formal acceptance. I never take no for an answer. I shall expect you promptly at 5.
What kind of bilge was that?
I say let's take him up on that invitation, skipper.
I say that tea smells like poison.
Well, you expected trouble in Honolulu, so it's better to have poison hail you from a dinghy than run into a knife in a dark shoreside alley. What do you say? A poison on a yacht where you can see it, or a knife in a dark alley?
Okay, Red. Break out your white linen jacket. We'll try the poison.
And so Mutual continues The Voyage of the Scarlet Queen, written by Gil Dowd and Bob Tallman, and starring Elliot Lewis. The Scarlet Queen, proudest ship to plow the seas, bound for uncharted adventure. Every week a complete entry in the log, and every week a league further in the strange Voyage of the Scarlet Queen.
My instinct was to turn down Bradbury's invitation, because I knew that Constantino's machine was out to stop the voyage of the Scarlet Queen, to use every trick in the business to keep me from the $10 million prize Kang was sending me after. They'd killed once in San Francisco when Gallagher was on their payroll, and now, after Red had switched his loyalties to my side, the Bradbury hail would be another move. But a few minutes before 5, Gallagher and I dropped into our small boat and sculled the 50 yards to the good ship Rockahonga. A Kanaka crewman took our painter and made us fast to the ladder. We hunched our shoulder holsters into easy positions and went aboard. We walked across immaculate teak wood toward the main house. Just before we reached it, something under a deck cleat caught my eye. I picked it up. It was a small opal earring in a gold setting.
Welcome aboard, gentlemen. Come in out of the sun. Tea's getting cold. We'll make the formalities brief. I'd like to introduce my nephew. Your names, please?
I'm Carney. This is my first officer, Mr. Gallagher.
Splendid, splendid.
Pleased to meet you. Why don't you park your hardware outside? This is a tea party.
No, Cyril. No. Certainly the gentlemen have come armed. All manner of danger in these latitudes. Sharks, foreigners, natives.
All right, clam, blubber, clam. Tell them what you want and send them back to the rowboat. You're boring the gentleman.
Yes, of course. It just so happens that I do have a proposition to place before you. In spite of the apparent grandeur with which you find me surrounded, gentlemen, I find myself temporarily embarrassed. Well, financially, that
He
is.
means he's broke.
That's tough. I've been there myself.
Yes. Well, naturally, you are thinking that I can sell this yacht for more than enough to carry me, but I can't in Honolulu for reasons which I won't go into. As a matter of fact, I am taking great risks in even anchoring here, but I had no choice.
What are you handing me? You picked us up off Sand Island and followed us into the basin. Why us?
Why, the very impression you make. Your ship's well loaded, a craft that will handle well under jib and mizzen for intricate island sailing.
Yeah, along with 50 other catches in this harbor.
Yes. Well, now, Mr. Carney, the point is this. I am, shall we say, persona non grata in this city.
He means he's hot in Honolulu. Last time he was here, he got a skin full and asked his dame on the ship.
Cyril. That will be enough, Cyril. To continue, I must raise enough money to fuel my voyage back to the States. Neither I, nor, if I may say so, Cyril can go ashore.
Yeah, but it was no dame.
In my travels, I have collected a number of valuable objets d'art. Among them, this rare white jade representation of the Arakanese Buddha, one of the most sacred objects of the Orient. stolen from the Boangan temple.
Look, what Blubber's trying to tell you, he's hot. The statue's hot. But there's a certain character in Honolulu who'd pay off good for it. He wants you gents to deliver it for a third of the proceeds. He trusts you. Don't ask me why.
Nicely put, Cyril. Well, gentlemen, how about it? Do you agree to assist me?
Who's your buyer?
A gentleman of the Oriental persuasion, Lu Chi-shen by name. You will present the object to him, and if he does not instantly recognize its worth, as I believe he will, then kindly direct his attention to the cylindrical marking at its base. This identifies it beyond a shadow of a doubt as the Arakanese Buddha Boanga. Well, Mr. Carney?
So the tea is all right, Skipper. The guy's in trouble. We got to go ashore anyway.
Okay, Red, pick up the doll. Oh, almost forgot. I found this out on deck. It's an earring.
Oh, an opal. Now, where could that have come from?
Yeah. Where?
A cheap little thing. Take it along, Mr. Carney, for luck.
It was dusk when we left the Scarlet Queen to go ashore. By the time we'd reached King Street in the center of town, the tropic night had settled in around the city. Kang and Company's office was closed, so I phoned the home of the manager, Neil Gregson. He told us to meet him there in an hour. We decided to unload Bradbury's hunk of jade and kill the rest of the time in the nearest bar. We found the shop on Canton Street, a few blocks east of King. The sign on the window was in Chinese, but down in the corner in English was the name Lu Ji-shen. It was a typical cluttered Chinese curio shop, dim, smelling of sandalwood. A thin, wrinkled little man looking out of character in Occidental clothes and green eye shade was waiting for us behind the counter.
Yes? You wish to buy Chinese ware?
You Lu Ji-shen?
Yes. Who tell you come here?
Bradbury.
Bradbury? Maybe mistake you come here.
We got something for you. What do you think of that for White Jade?
You try sell that to me? That's not jade.
What do you mean it isn't jade?
That's Japanese work. Very cheap. No good for me.
Wait a minute. This is a great thing. Where'd he say it came from, Skipper?
Temple somewhere. Boanga.
Boanga? No, cannot be Boanga Buddha.
He says look on the bottom, Lou. He says mark there proves.
Oh. Wait, I turn on light.
Uh-huh.
This very strange mark. Very small.
He turned the base of the Buddha toward the light and squinted nearsightedly at a spot of shining metal that was set in the center. He put a jeweler's glass into his left eye and looked again. Then he picked up a penknife and started scraping the tarnish off the metal disc. He didn't finish the job. Didn't make any more noise than a firecracker. There was a little tinkle of broken glass. His body went rigid for a split second and then relaxed. The eyepiece hadn't even shattered. There was a clean hole through it about the size of a .25 caliber slug. The bullet that had killed Lu Ji-shen had entered his left eye from close range. In the shattered pieces of Bradbury's phony Buddha, I found the weapon. It was a simple gadget, a rifle cartridge with a spring mechanism on the firing cap. I'd seen plenty of them on Pacific beachheads during the war. We called them finger mines. It looked like Constantino's work, but I couldn't figure why. Any way you looked at it, it was murder, and we were in too deep to stand still. 20 minutes later, a cab dropped us in front of Neil Gregson's Spanish-style mansion out on the other side of Diamond Head. The air was heavy with the smell of jasmine as we went up the walk to the front entrance. But the perfume that hit us when the door opened was more expensive.
Well, Neil told me a couple of men were coming, but he didn't say it like he should have.
Thanks. Where do we find him?
He had to go out for a while, but he said I could entertain you until he got back. It won't be long.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Come in, won't you? Follow me.
She was easy to follow. She swayed down a few steps and into a sunken living room. From the door, I could see that we weren't the only men she was entertaining. I counted 5 lounging around the room. 4 of them, including a young Oriental with a scarred face, wore well-filled shoulder holsters. The other sat with a carbine across his knees. He was the only one I recognized. It was Bradbury's nephew, Cyril.
Come in, suckers. This could be a friendly get-together.
Sure, what else?
Maybe a little 7-card stud just to break the ice?
I'll take you up on that, Cyril. We always get a square deal from you.
Oh, I like you, too, Gallagher. How much money you got?
Just deal 'em. I'm well.
How would you like to spend your time, Mr. Carney?
Kicking myself from here to the equator, thanks.
Come on over to the bar. My name's Claire, and I'll mix you a drink. We'll put the kick in that.
That's probably the truth.
You're so suspicious. Relax. Do something manly like making a pass at me.
With all your husbands in the room?
Well, that's better anyway, but I'm not married.
Just well supplied with chaperones, huh?
Do you think I need them?
Oh, get off it, will you? You don't need them with me. What is the setup, anyway?
A bunch of fellas just happened to drop in.
Did you come with them, or are you part of the furniture?
I'm engaged to Neil Gregson. You won't like him either.
Uh-huh. That makes as much sense as anything else.
Isn't that a fact? Is your drink all right?
Yeah. Can't remember when I've enjoyed one more.
I could say the same about you if I were the sarcastic type, but I'm... That must be Neil. Excuse me.
The doorbell did something to the atmosphere in the room. I wasn't quite sure what. Nobody changed their positions. Cyril glanced up and then glanced back at his hole card. Claire walked through the room and up the steps. She looked through the open grill, turned back to the room, and held up one finger. Then she opened the door. The figure of a man stood silhouetted in the doorway for just an instant, and then... Every gun in the room opened up on him. The shock knocked him half off the porch, and he lay there.
Some people never learn, do they?
You really take chances, don't you? You got real guts, Cyril.
Stop it, Skipper. It's their fault.
He never got his hands out of his pockets.
I'll ask your advice next time, Carney, but for now, calm up and stay alive, huh? You, Gallagher, on your feet. You're going with us.
Good idea. We can finish that game of stud.
Wait a minute, what's the deal?
It's a payoff, Carney, for Gallagher's double cross in Frisco. You know what I mean? Okay, let's clear out.
I felt like a man on a yard square island. From where I stood, there was no place to turn. Cyril's talk about Red's double cross added up to Constantino. I was sure of that. And it wasn't hard to figure how they'd pay off Gallagher for signing on with me. So far, Honolulu wasn't living up to the travel folders. It was all blind alleys. And in each one, there was a dead man. I went to the door, dragged the body inside, and locked myself in with him. I pulled out his wallet. It was Gregson, all right, but any information he was to give me was as dead as he was. That still held even after I found an envelope in his inside coat pocket that had my name on it. 2 hours ago, it would have led to Kang's instructions. Now it didn't lead any place. It said, Luji Shen is Kang's man. You're to meet him at 11:45 tonight. I walked a few blocks over to Koa Avenue and hailed a cab. It dropped me on Canton Street. It was about 10, and I hoped that the police were through with Lou's curio shop. The dim light was on, and no one was in sight. I went in. It was not only open, it was open for business. There wasn't a sign that a murder had been committed there. And another aged Chinese face rose up out of the shadows behind the counter.
You wish buy Chinese wear?
Who are you?
I am Jia Cheng.
You do business now, tonight?
You wish buy? I help you.
No, I mean, Luji Shen.
Lord Jishan not here.
I know it. That's what I mean. You do business after what happened tonight?
Lord Jishan not here.
Were the police here?
Many police. Many men all want Lord Jishan. He not here. He go 2-3 days.
I got an idea you're talking my language, Joe. Did you see him get killed?
Lord Jishan not here.
Look, Joe. You know Kang and Son, Shanghai?
No, sabe.
You know name Scarlet Queen?
No, sabe. Other man are same.
What other man? Fat man in white suit, maybe come with police? Look, Joe, I'm captain on Scarlet Queen. I work for Kang and Son.
No, sabe. Fat man say same.
He was lying. Look here. This paper, it say Philip Carney, master, catch, Scarlet Queen. You read English?
No read.
And look here, this letter from Kang and Son in Chinese. I was supposed to give it to Luji Shen, but I didn't know it until it was too late.
You come along me.
He padded down the other side of the counter, and I followed him. We went through a door at the back of the shop and into the living quarters. Zhao bent over a carved camphor-wood chest. And when he straightened up, he had a bamboo tube and a thick envelope in his hand. Both of them were from Kang. The envelope held a beautiful, thick bundle of $500 bills, and a piece of rice paper in the tube carried my instructions for finding the contact in Kobe, Japan, and a list of numbers that could have been soundings or elevations. If they were to be memorized, the paper destroyed.
You savvy.
I savvy.
Kang, he most wise man.
You aren't so bad yourself, Joe. You worked good trick on Bradbury.
Yes, good trick, all right.
The police don't know Lou was killed?
No person know. I clean up very fast. No person see him, only you, along with the one with red hair and me. To all other person, Liu Jishan, go away.
Believe me, I hope he has a good trip. Joe, you help me more?
Yeah.
Bradbury took the one with red hair away. Unless I find, maybe he goes same place Liu Jishan. You know where in Honolulu those men go?
Honolulu, very big.
Look, one of them was Chinese boy. Knife scar across here. You know all Chinese boys?
I know the one.
You know what place he go? Any house saloon? What place he meet friend?
No, friend. American very bad for that Chinese boy.
I know it, Joe. I'll try and take care of it for you. Maybe beat Americans' heads together, huh?
That place named Farmhouse. Street name Canal Street. Very bad.
Yeah, very good. Joe, you're a beautiful guy. You're the first thing I've seen in Honolulu that I'd like to take home with me. The Palm House on Canal Street was the kind of a place the police find at the end of a vice drive. It was a two-story building that covered its windows with bamboo screens to hide its activities from those lucky enough to be outside and a lousy view from those stupid enough to be inside. The only healthy thing about the place were the two fat palm trees that gave it its name. I took a final breath of fresh night air and went in. It was a big place, crowded, and the atmosphere was thick with smoke, and the band was loud. The hula dancers that were on stage had been doing the same thing 40 years too long, and had improved their act with a few tricks from Minsky's. I got 3 feet inside the door and got a typical welcome.
Hello, big boy. You meeting a friend? Well, I do.
Later, gorgeous, later.
Later, my back. I'm not the kind that goes to waste.
I kicked and shouldered my way through every complexion in the color chart, navigating a course toward the bar by dead reckoning and the sense of smell. There was some space opening at the end of the bar. I stopped to order a drink, but the bartender was out of sight. I turned around, and that's when I saw them. The first one I spotted was Gallagher. He was at a table, relaxed and nursing a glass. Sitting across from him was the woman, Claire. Cyril and the rest were spread out, and they were getting to their feet. Then I realized why that crowd was so hard to fight through. I was the only one heading in. The rest of them smelled trouble and were fighting their way out. I put my back to the bar and leaned on my elbows. Gallagher looked at me once. Then he grinned and moved his chair so his back was to me. That made it complete. The trap and a sellout from him.
Funny thing about double crosses, Connie.
Not so funny.
You're the only one that isn't laughing. You want to talk sense or fall down?
The gun's in your hand, not mine.
Yeah, well, let's try sense. You went back to Liu Jishan's. You stayed there for a while. You talked to Liu Jishan.
Liu Jishan not here.
Shut up. All we want is what he gave you or told you.
That makes it simple. Liu Jishan not here.
I said shut up.
What do you think was in that booby track you sent to him? Birthday greetings? He's dead.
Quit it, Connie. The cops say he's alive.
Argue with them, then, not me.
If you like this, go ahead. Be stupid. That ain't hurting me.
Well, that's because you got guts, Cyril. Great guts! Just as I hit him, somebody threw 2 shots, and like at a signal, the place went pitch dark. I dropped flat on the floor and stayed there. Automatics flashed out of the blackness, and splinters from the bar rained down on me. Then the place went silent. I lay there quietly waiting, afraid to give them my position by firing back. I heard the scrape of someone sliding my way and snapped the safety catch on my automatic. Then I smelled the perfume.
Claire put both hands on my face to show me she didn't have a gun and breathed something about getting out into my ear. I grabbed one of her hands with my left, reached up to the bar and found a glass. I took a breath and threw it to the other end of the room. Then we got up and ran. I didn't try to figure the twist. All I saw was a chance to get out of there, and I took it. She led me through a back door into a car parked in an alley. And the last I saw of the Palm House was its reflection in the rear view mirror. She drove to Mauna Lua Bay on the eastern end of the island and led me into a cottage on the beach. The lights were shaded, the drinks were handy, and the motif was pagan. I'd expected her to toss me some curves, but I was a little wrong as to type. Events so far hadn't pointed to the kind that go with whispering surf and moonlight through palm groves, but there they were.
You've got the shakes, haven't you?
The shakes are different on this end of the island.
Your eyes aren't as soft as you talk. How would they look if they were?
Wish I knew what you were up to.
Couldn't I just like you?
Uh-uh.
Couldn't I try? Couldn't I be sick of the whole mess and everyone in it? Couldn't I be honest with myself for just a little while?
I don't know. Could you?
Maybe I was wrong about you being alive. Are you numb?
Uh-uh. Just scared. I'm scared to death.
I am too, Phil. Maybe it's... Oh, darling. Your face, he hurt you, didn't he? He hurt you.
I don't remember.
Well,
I don't remember a thing but being here. I never did figure out whether she was really being honest or not. But I didn't know her well enough to care a great deal. The drink she mixed had pineapple juice in them, and the atmosphere she created was quite peaceful. She made only one mistake. She looked at her wristwatch too often. If she hadn't, it might have been different, because I didn't hear a car pull up or footsteps outside or anything. I just saw a change in her. And I put my glass down and got ready. I wasn't quite sure who'd come through the door. It turned out to be Bradbury, but he was more surprised than I was. Claire was pointing a small automatic at him.
Claire, what's the meaning of this?
I've changed my mind.
You're in too deep to misuse my faith in you. You've put your pretty finger on your fiancée, Gregson, for an equally pretty remuneration.
Quit being fancy and stay where you are. I found somebody who pays more for faith than you do.
I don't understand you, Claire.
You wouldn't.
Since our friend Gallagher has seen to it that Cyril is no longer with us, we might bargain. There must be a meeting point. Certainly you aren't wasting your time on Carney here.
Turn around, fat boy. Who drove you out here?
Gallagher.
Yeah, fat boy, Gallagher. Isn't it a caution, Skipper, what we have to go through to keep our heads above water?
That's when the pagan cottage exploded, because that's when everybody realized who was sold out by whom. Red-colored Bradbury, and I made a grab at Claire. I was close, but not close enough. She'd aimed at Gallagher, but Bradbury had been pulled in line instead. 2 spots of crimson suddenly blossomed on that white linen suit. And when Red let go of him, he settled fatly on the carpet. And Claire disappeared through a side door.
Where's the dame, Skipper? I want to get my hands on her.
Let her go, Red.
I can't help it, Skipper. She made me mad. You know why?
Sure.
I don't think you do. Remember that opal earring you found in the Rakahanga? I wasn't mad till I found the other one on her dressing table.
What were you doing at her dressing table,
Making a deal, Skipper. Deciding that she'd double-cross Cyril and Bradbury, I'd double-cross you. And she and I were going to live happily ever after. On what Constantino'd pay us for what you got from Lou G. Shen.
Yeah. Should I congratulate you?
Skipper, if you knew what I went through making Cyril think I was double-crossing you, you would congratulate me.
Yeah. How about Cyril?
Yeah. How about Cyril? Skipper, what do you think of Honolulu as a port of call?
It's kind of mixed up with what I think of you as a chief mate. But I think if we try, we can get out of here before daybreak.
Considering what's happened since we got here, I think we better. Homicide won't like us in the morning.
An hour later, a sleepy crew had fallen to, and the Scarlet Queen sneaked away from her dock under power, out of Kapalama Basin, headed out toward the still dark western horizon. dawn, we picked up the trade winds and cut the motor.
With port sheet, make sail!
The mainsail caught the sunrise wind, and the Scarlet Queen nodded at the morning and dipped her lee rail toward the sea.
To the jib sheets, men! Smartly now!
She answered the jibs, then the mizzen, and the wake boiled and bubbled under her stern. The clean sea air flushed the night out of me. It left a clear head to work out a balance between wind, sail, rudder, and fate.
She likes the sail, Skipper. She'll take it as long as we can stand up on the deck.
Let's not argue with her. She likes it as it is.
So do I. I can turn my back any way I want it. No automatic. That was a bad port, Skipper. What's next?
I'll try and do better. This one is called Muninjima. It's an island halfway between here and Japan.
All right. You'll find the island, and I'll find the woman on it.
That's a deal.
Want a drink, Skipper?
After you, mate. After you. Log entry, catch Scarlet Queen, 5:30 p.m. Miles traveled, 3,035. Wind brisk, sky lowering. Sea choppy with high cross swell. Mainsail and mizzen reefed, ship secure for night. Signed, Philip Carney, Master.
The Voyage of the Scarlet Queen has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.